Right guys, before you watch this video, this is a bit of a warning. I've basically fucked up. What I've done is I've misread the manual, thinking that the ring gap was 0.7 for the second ring and 0.6 for the top ring. Them two figures are actually the maximum gap you can have. They're the limit. I believe that the gap is between 0.3 to 0.5. So I've bought a brand new set of fucking piston rings and I've set them to the maximum gap you can have. I'm so pissed off. But I looked through, I double checked the manual and all it said was the limit. But I've since found another manual online, another Thunderace manual online, and that's where I've got the 0.3 to 0.5 from. So please bear in mind that, like I say, when I say I'm setting the gap, I'm doing it wrong. I'm actually setting the rings to the maximum limit you can have. I'm fucking pissed off. So I'm still going to use them because they are technically within spec. It's just that what a fucking mistake that was. And I can't afford to bin them and buy some more. Like I say, they were just doing 180 quid. So they're going to have to go in. It's just that the brand new rings will be on the limit. Hello guys, guess what I have here in a box? I have some piston rings. Well, I'm assuming it's piston rings because it's come from Yamaha Chola. So let's open it up. I think. Bear with me while I do this. Seconds. Hope I don't slice my bloody fingers off. Right. So 4 sets of piston rings, hopefully. Oops, so let's I'll open one of these up. 2 seconds. Right. Jesus, I don't even handle them, man. They're that bloody thin, aren't they? But yeah. So all that lot there, it's just cost me just 180 odd quid. So I need to be very careful with them and have a go at fitting these tonight, hopefully. So right, I'm pissed off with these batteries. They're costing me a fortune. I'm going to buy some bloody rechargeable ones. Anyway, so these are the piston rings. So what I'm going to do is have a go at fitting them tonight. I need to be extremely careful and I need to find out which way they go up and stuff like that. So I'll be back shortly. Right guys, so what I'm going to do now is start installing the piston rings onto the pistons. What I've done is I've put a little dot inside the piston just with a marker pen, just so I know that which one's which, 2, number 3, etc. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same with the box. I'm going to write a number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4 on the box. So the first thing I'm going to do, to be honest with you, is I'm going to put these O-rings on the bottom there, so I don't forget that. I'll do that first. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to measure the ring gap in the cylinder. So we know what the oil rings are, and then there's a black one and like a chromey type one, a silver one. The black one, I believe, is the second ring from the top, and the chromey one or the silver one is the top ring. Obviously we install these with the markings up, and I'll put my other camera on. There's just a little bit of a mark in there, but there isn't on the top one, and I'll explain that in a minute. So I'll get this in the bore and we'll measure that. And what I've done is I've just put a bit of tape around this spare piston, 20mm from top, and I'll use that to square up the ring in the bore so I can measure the end gap. Right, I'll be back in a minute. Right, I've switched to my other camera, so I hope this works. You can see the end gap there, and let me try and stick this. So this is the feeler gauge. You can't really see that, but that gap is too small. So this feeler gauge is 0.028 of an inch, or 0.7 mil, and for the second ring that's what it is. So what I need to do now then is I need to file that ring so that this feeler gauge goes in that slot there, goes in that gap there. Right, I've no idea how to do it, but we'll just have a go. Right, what I've done is I have practiced on an old ring that I had. So I've had that in the vise now, and that slots in there, does that now? Can't really see, can you? Because, sorry about this, the camera skills are shit. So that goes in there now, that feeler gauge. And the reason I wanted to do that was just to give it a test run. So that's, like I say, that's for the, can you see that? The 0.028 or 0.70. And what I've done is I've just got a file and I've just put a bit of oil on it, and I've just rubbed it up and down a couple of times. So I shall try it with the real thing now. Right, so that's the first ring done. It's taken me about 15 minutes because I was a bit panicky. So what I was doing, I was doing it until it got to that 0.65, and then I was going really slowly then until it reached, oh, you can't see it there, 0.7, look. So 0.7. So that one's now done. There are a few marks on there because let me just get it out. So I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's a few marks on the edge because as I was doing it, it sort of like created a bit of a sharp, you know, you could feel something on the end. So I had to just rub the side of the piston ring just to get rid of the burr type stuff. So that's number one done now. Well, number one second ring. So now I need to do this one. This is a compression ring, and this is 0.6. So I'll do that and then I'll show you, and I'm just going to do all the others because it'd be pretty boring looking at this. So I'll do the compression one now. Right, so that's the top ring done now. So that's 0.6, and it just goes in there nicely. Good, so that's that done. So what I'll do now is I will now put the rings I've done back in that box and on top of that piston, and then I'll move on to the next one. So I'll do that for all the next 3, and when I finish that, then I'll get back to you. Right, so that's all the gaps now done for each cylinder. I've just put some new dowels in there, one there and one there. Put the base gasket on. So what I'm going to do now is I think I'm going to start putting the pistons on there, and then we're going to be ready for the barrels. I need to order a dowel there and a dowel there. I don't know where they've gone, I haven't got any. So I need to order them before I can put the head on. But hopefully by the end of this video we should have, well, I don't know if we'll have the barrel on or not, but we'll see. We'll definitely have the pistons in, well, on with the rings, and we'll see about the barrel. So I'll be back in 2. Right, so I'm putting the rings on the number 4 piston, and the oil ring just will not rotate round. And I thought, what the hell's happening? And I tried putting it in the bore with just the oil ring on, and it wouldn't go in. But the piston quite clearly goes in, and I found out why. So if I show you this now, so you see where the gudgeon pin goes there. I'm hoping you can, I don't know how close to hold this camera, but if you look where the gudgeon pin goes there, on that side it's alright, but if I turn the piston round on that one, you can see that it's got a bit of a nick, and that's why it won't go in. There's a bit of a nick there. You can't really see it because the bloody camera isn't zooming in properly, but anyway, that's why, so I need to sort that out. Right, I've got all the piston rings on the pistons now. That number 4 piston, I had to change it, so this is the one that I want to use with the 4 dots, but I've used that spare one because I just couldn't get the rings on and I couldn't get them to turn. But anyway, they're on now, and it made it difficult because they were covered in oil, and when I tried to turn them, my hands were slipping and everything. So they're all on now and they're turning, and the only thing I can think of is where they've been soda blasted. I don't think I'd probably cleaned it good enough, and there might have been a tiny blob of soda powder still in there, if you know what I mean, in there.